fire up YouTube on my iPhone so I could try to keep track of your comments there. But anyone who watches these live streams, try to come to YouNow. Links in the show description so I can see your comments right on my computer screen rather than having to grab my phone here to see on my iPhone so I can see what's going on YouTube. But anyway, welcome people. It's Labor Day, Memorial Day here. Shoot, I'm so bad at holidays in the United States, so I'm just chilling out, taking a little bike ride and having smooth. Hey little vegan, what is up? How you doing? Let's see, live chat. See who's on YouTube. I have UA, Jacinto Williams, Ed Ferd, Darlene DeVegan, and Juan Diego. Yeah, I'll do something on the Lancet study. It's funny how the media is just reporting on, there's 3 studies that came out, and they're just reporting on the one that makes the masses happy. They're not reporting on the one how people that ate more fruits, you know, carbohydrates, fiber, had longer lives too. So yeah, I'll do a video on that. Just funny how the media is just hopping on the one of the 3 studies. They don't even mention the other 2. I had to go, once I found the Lancet article, I found all three studies there. Now I'll try to do a video on that this week. Didn't Mike the Vegan just do one too? I think I saw that pop up in my feed. Oh, thanks, little vegan. My ride was cool. I just did, for the first time since like February, I did some climbing. I've been riding just along the coast here, which is pretty flat. So I felt inspired to go out and do something a little different today. Hey Scott. Hey Zen Vegan. Let's see. So see, I would like to tell you guys at the beginning of the chat here. I'm doing this on YouNow, and it's simulcasting over to YouTube. So what I'm saying is I can see all the YouNow comments way easier. So if you want to make sure I see you, come over to YouNow. The links should be in the show notes down below. But I do have my phone here to have it on YouTube, so I will look at your comments. But I don't see them as obviously they're not on my face. I have to grab my phone. Someone was complaining about that. I let in the comments the other day. I just let them know this is how it works out. Let's see, little vegan question. Is 12 calories too low? Yeah, unless you're like maybe like 5 years old or something like that. Yeah, your average person needs around 2,000-ish calories, you know, average female, so yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, under eating is not sustainable. Let's see, hey Crunchy Curly. Let's see what's going on here. Hey Chris, hey Pragya. What about fruits and pre-diabetes? As I've done many videos with the health debunking. Yeah, if you already have diabetes or insulin resistant, a lot of foods, fruit, meat, are trigger an insulin response. But the cause of diabetes was not fruit. I've never met a diabetic, and I know diabetics. I've never met one who got diabetic or pre-diabetic because they ate a diet anything remotely like mine. They're eating crappy food, you know, a lot of meat and booze and stuff like that. So what I'm saying, yeah, fruit's not the cause of diabetes, but it doesn't help necessarily. It helps to cure it, but at first you might have some issues. Talk to a knowledgeable medical doctor about that, though. I don't want to give any medical advice here. Let's see. Let's see. So what you guys asking here? Yeah, it's a great smoothie here. After a bike ride or a run, whatever, any kind of workout, you know, smoothie is awesome. This is about maybe 9-ish bananas or so. I don't know, something in that ballpark. Could be 8, could be 10, depending on the size. And blueberries. There's no more cherries. It's, you know, September, you know. So yeah, I put a bunch of thanks for the Bay comments there. I put a bunch of blueberries in there. They're out of season too, but they were imported from Washington State. Thanks for the likes there, Reg Flowers. So yes, little vegan, eat a little bit more food than that. I bet you're starving and miserable and probably not seeing that much in the way of results. You know, eat the right amount of food and get some exercise too if you're not, you know, not like crazy amounts, but just, you know, get the body moving. That's what I did today. I know I slurp these smoothies. I'm sorry. I'm glad you like that there. Who commented that? Some people complain, some people appreciate it. Maria. Let's see, your dad threw all the ripe banana and plantains into banana bread. Well, that sounds good. I mean, it sucks that you lost the right bananas there, Danielle, but, oh, but he added eggs? Oh, bummer. That sucks. That sucks. Okay, Mia, I can see what you're saying. I did dress a little bit like a banana today. I'll buy that. I got my yellow jersey on. Mm. I didn't say too. I throw in a bunch of ice cubes in the non-winter months, you know, just to get it nice and cool. It's so refreshing. 2 hours of exercise a day, little vegan. You're hardcore. That's like 14 hours a week. I don't think I've ever done more than like 8. I don't think I've ever crossed 10 hours in my life. So you might be on this extreme kind of what's the word I'm looking for there? Just like going too hardcore, like eating so little, exercising so much. That is not good. Seriously. Exercise, but not that much. I mean, I'm lucky if I get like 5 hours a week. You know, I barely got a little over 4 this last week, maybe 4.5 or so. So, 95 pounds? Little vegan, you gotta eat some more food there. Seriously. You're 5'1.5" and 95 pounds. That sounds underweight. Look up your body mass index online. Someone do that for her. That sounds like you are underweight. Seriously. You don't want to lose any more weight. You want to put some weight on. Okay, let's go on. Let's just going on YouTube here. No, that's not a shower curtain in the background. That's some old cloth drapes there, JM. Let's see. Someone's trying to do a video, trying to get video games to do a video on him. I'm not sure what that means. A house tour, chunky butterfly. Maybe. I don't know. We kind of like to keep some things private. We don't mind sharing with you, but then we share with everyone. You know, someone that has less than noble intentions might try to use that against us, like, you know, case our house out to break in or something. Who knows? Now, YouTube does have a slight delay. Yeah, someone mentioned that there in the comments. Is fruit okay if you might be pre-diabetic? How do you know if you're pre-diabetic or not, Jacinto? Do you have a hemoglobin A1C test or something like that? Again, read Dr. Neil Bernard's book. I don't pretend to masquerade as any kind of medical authority, but I've seen it happen. You know, that's why I want you to read the book, though, so you know, because it affects your life more than mine. Read Neil Bernard's book. It's about, just Google Dr. Barnard, B-A-R-N-A-R-D, preventing or treating diabetes, and he'll tell you how to do it. A plant-based diet. At first, you know, there might be some issues, but literally to get people off their diabetes meds, which they were told by their medical doctors they'd be on these meds for life, they get off them in literally like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So learn. Not for me, but I'm the teacher that's pointing you in the right direction. I'm not the one that has all the knowledge there. But yeah, fruit, grains, potatoes, legumes. Yeah, that's. And if you're eating that, you're not gonna cause diabetes. But yeah, if you have diabetes, they might be troublesome just right at first if you're trying to, like, you know, lower your insulin resistance. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Do I really believe that Unnatural Vegan is a shill, or do I just think she has a different opinion than me? Well, I know she definitely has a different opinion than me. I never said she was a shill on one of our YouTube videos, right? I said our viewers have asked that or commented that. I didn't say that I have some kind of proof. All I know is has an axe to grind, you know, defending Joe Rogan over actual medical doctors that have actual patients, that have actual published studies, that actually give keynotes at diabetes conventions. That science is no good, but Joe Rogan, you know, supporting Joe Rogan. And did you see that response video of hers? She said, well, no, Ryan took me and Joe Rogan out of context. He edited Joe Rogan, like when Joe Rogan called all those medical doctors bullshit artists, remember that? And right after that, he said, well, they mean well. Well, I didn't intentionally cut that out. I just didn't think it helped anything. But she thought, just because he said, well, they mean well, then it's okay to call those doctors a bullshit artist. I mean, I would have left that in if that was a big deal, but that doesn't make any sense. What if I went up to her or anyone and say, hey, you're a bullshit artist, but you mean well, so we're all good then, right? That's not like I did an attack or anything. So I disagree with her there. If you say someone means well, it doesn't give you carte blanche to trash and attack them. I was laughing at that. I thought that was the silliest defense right there of Joe Rogan. Anyway, Yeah, it's made it like Joe Rogan was sympathetic to vegans. Well, they're bullshit artists, but they mean well, and sympathetic to the vegan ideals and ethics. And then, have you seen Foot Soldier's video? Yes. Showed, yeah, of course he's sympathetic to the vegan ethics and cause. He hunts. He's carrying dead animal carcasses and shooting animals. It's not just like one photo. There's many photos of Joe Rogan with dead animals. So, what kind of vegan values is that? I mean, that's just crazy. So, do I think she's a shill? I'm not saying that at all, but come on, that's just some baloney there. Joe Rogan's sympathetic to the vegan ethics and cause, and that if you say someone means well, you can call them a bullshit artist, and it's actually kind of cool. It's not an attack. I don't get that. If someone could explain to me how if you preface your attack with they mean well, it's cool. I'm going to walk up to some guy across the street, hey, you're an ugly MF, I want to kick your ass, but you mean well, so we're good, right? Yeah. Yeah, twisted hippie. Some of the stuff Joe Rogan has said about vegans, it pretty much sounds like he hates us. Like vegans aren't strong enough to train. Yeah, Ido Portal has said that. Baloney. Do I do any strength training? Chris Bruley asked. Yeah, on my off days, which means days I don't like play basketball or run or ride my bike. Yeah, pretty much on all my off days I do something. I have some dumbbells here, so I do bicep curls. I'll do just resistance training with push-ups, so I'm getting a different set of muscles. So yeah, but that's not my main thing. I just do those on off days to, maintain and gain some upper body strength. But yeah, that's not what I live for or anything like that. But I do that stuff. Despite some people think I don't. I'm just completely don't do that. No, I do that several times a week. It's just not as fun as playing basketball. How can anyone think that? I'm not bagging on weightlifting or anything. It's cool, but playing basketball's fun. You got to literally pull me off the court, sweating, falling apart because I'm exhausted. That's how fun it is. But doing some bicep curls is really not that exciting. It really isn't. Again, I'm not dissing. I'm just saying what goes on in my mind. I'm not all that a big fan of it. Let's see. So what's going on here on YouTube? I'm sorry, guys. I heard Joe Rogan. This is Ronan80. I heard Joe Rogan's interview with Rich Roll. Unless he did a new one, I remember hearing I thought I heard something a while ago. Wasn't that a few years ago? Yeah, he was respectful to Rich Roll. It's just that he doesn't get his guests on there to attack them unless they're like Kip and Keegan. Then he tries to attack them. D-Rock P87 says he wants to get me and Vegan Gains to do a video on Vinny Tortorich. Yeah, didn't Vinny on his podcast try again to debunk what the hell? Then I heard him on Rich Roll's podcast try to debunk the China study. I mean, just anything that goes against Vinny's low carb, grains are really bad for you kind of philosophy. Yeah, he'll try to debunk it. So anyway, I'd love to come visit New York, Danielle, but that is so far away. Let's see. What is going on here? What's going on in YouNow? I go away and people are talking about stuff I have no idea. What are you guys talking about? Are we aware of what? It sounds like you guys are going on some weird, okay, this is crazy. Let's see. Alright, I'm blocking some crazy guy on YouNow, just going off on weird politics and gay frogs. Anyway. Lewis, Geo asks, any thoughts on Neil deGrasse's tweet on cows? How are they? Yeah, are cows, yeah, this is crazy. He thinks the whole purpose of cows is that they're put here on Earth so man can genetically engineer them to turn grass into beef. Wow, that's wild. That's so human-centric. Like, all things are put on Earth for man to do stuff with. He says some crazy things, I did a video on him. Look up Happy Healthy Vegan Neil deGrasse Tyson, and his total denial about the causes of climate change. I mean, I'm glad he understands and aware of it, but he doesn't really know what to do about it. Instead of addressing the number one cause of greenhouse gases. By all standards, they disagree as opposed to what percentage of it. Is it 20% or 50%? All agree, though, animal agriculture beats transportation. Anyway, instead of addressing that, he says, maybe we'll invent some big machine that will go into the sky and get all the cars. Like, how long is that going to take? You know, wouldn't it just be easier to stop eating meat? You know, really, think about that. And cost a lot less. So yes, I respect Neil deGrasse Tyson big time as an astrophysicist and a science educator on television. Don't get me wrong. If he lived next door to me, I would go out there and try to chat him up all the time and talk about cosmology and physics, however, and astronomy. But nutrition, human nutrition, obviously isn't his strong suit. I mean, not to bag on him, the guy's, you know, ever since I discovered him, you know, been a little you know, on the larger side. I don't think he eats all that well, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think he's the person to you know, speak out as an authority on some things. And agriculture and genetic modification, that's not part of astrophysics. So again, I respect him. I just think he's going a little bit out of his wheelhouse here. Great astronomer, great astrophysicist, great television educator, crappy and other things. Let's see. What are you guys talking about here on YouTube? Let's see. What do I think about kombucha? Asked Bailey. I never drink kombucha. Too acidic. And they should ask Mr. and Mrs. Vegan that question. I thought Mrs. Vegan was a big kombucha fan, and after drinking it for I don't know how long, a few years, I'm assuming, ran into some health issues. So yeah, if you have it once in a while, I don't think anything bad will happen. But yeah, I'm not a kombucha fan. Neither is Angie. Let's see. What else you guys talking about here? Do I drink hibiscus or green tea? Asked C. Katie. No. I mean, occasionally I'll have some tea when I go out to like an Asian restaurant, but it's pretty rare, you know. I really just drink water and, you know, have smoothies and stuff, you know. That's kind of it. You know, I don't drink soda or coffee or anything like that. Let's see, Lewis says, sometimes people love to overcomplicate veganism, and that puts some people off veganism. Yeah, if you watch that video I did about that vegan nutritionist, yeah, she makes it very complicated. Like the way we promote it is super easy, you know, just eat a bunch of whole food plants, and you could have some fun stuff. Not to say whole food plants aren't fun once in a while. Mia, it's nice how much time and effort me and Angie put into YouTube and YouNow. Lots of freaking live streams, lots of good information answering your questions. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Mia. Despite what some people say, yeah, I think we spend, you know, a lot of time trying to help others and promote veganism. Let's see, who's here now? Omsky, Reg Flowers, what are you guys talking about there? Okay, back to YouTube. What are you guys saying here? Lemon water. No, see, Katie, I mean, occasionally when I go to a restaurant, there'll be some lemon in the water, but I kind of prefer it without lemon, but if it's in there, I used to send it back, but now I'm cool with it. It's so rare, I can deal with it. Diana, any tips for new runners? Run out of breath fast. Yeah, for new runners, you're probably going too fast, because I can run out of breath too if I go too hard, too fast. So if you're running out of breath, you're going too fast. Slow down. Really, if hopefully you have some kind of running watch or an app on your phone so you can see your paces. You want to go slow. If you're new, like literally, like, you know, slower than 11-minute miles, 12-minute miles, and so you want to be able to go for a while rather than just like, let's see what happened. Let's see, rather than just try to go quickly and run out of breath. Someone asked here on YouTube, can I try to call the Adamant and Dr. Drew show? You said they called, and this is D-Rock, P87. I called it, and they told me to eat eggs and bacon when you brought up plant-based diets. Dismiss knowing Dr. Bernard, Dr. Greger, Nessel. I'm sure those guys have never heard of those doctors, you know. Why would Dr. Drew know anything about plant-based doctors, let alone the science to back it up? Can I call the Adam and Dr. Drew show? When is it on even? I didn't even know that they had a show right now. So, and the odds of getting through can be quite slim. But now I'll see what I can do about that. I can't believe they told you to eat eggs and bacon. This is coming from a medical doctor. They're telling you, no, don't eat plants, whole food plants. Don't eat a bunch of vegetables and potatoes and fruits. No, eat bacon and eggs because you will be sick and dead if you don't eat them. Wow, I can't believe a medical doctor in 2017 is trying to tell you this. I guess I can, right? Because you know, look at all the health debunkers, right? Let's see. It was mind-boggling. Oh man. Well, Susan B asks, you tried looking on Amazon for a Kindle version of our book? It is available. I'm surprised you didn't find it. Try type it in again. Keep it car baby. I know for sure we have a Kindle version of it. Yeah, there's people commenting, reviewing it and stuff on there. It's on there. Yeah, take a look. Let me know again if you can't find it. It's there. It's got to be there. Just something must have went wrong on your search. But yeah, it's also available on iBook. You know, if you're an Apple iOS person, and that's actually what Angie designed it in for iBook. Then we ported it over to Kindle and PDF, and we sell the PDF on our website. The PDF and the Kindle are pretty much the same, so if you really have a lot of trouble buying that, or finding the Kindle version, it has no extra functionality really. You can just get the PDF from us as well. And Amazon doesn't take their big cut. Walking Vegan asks, what breakfast would I recommend before a long cycle? And how long should you eat before you head out? Well, you don't want too big of a meal there, Walking Vegan, because it'll be jiggling and you'll be digesting. How far do you mean by a long cycle? Because I've never gone like on a 100-mile ride, so I wouldn't be qualified to answer that. You know, I've gone on like 40, 50-mile rides, and all those times I didn't really eat much. Maybe a couple bananas most. One, at least a banana, maybe two. You know, and then I'll bring food along. I'll bring sometimes a banana if I have room for it. I'll bring something like a Larabar, stick that in my cycling jersey. You know, and then when I'm done, I'll eat like a mofo, you know, I'll just eat and eat and eat. But I mean, as long as you're eating sufficient calories day in and day out, your body's full, it should be full of glycogen. You should have plenty of energy to get through any ride, as long as you're, you know, every hour or so have some little bit of nutrition. But yeah, before a ride or run, yeah, no, don't have a big ass meal. Like today, before my little ride here, I just had a banana. I didn't even need to have that. It was optional, but I just had a banana. Plenty fine. Yeah, oats is fine, like an oatmeal. Yeah, but yeah, again, you don't want it to the point where you feel weighed down and heavy. You just want to, you know, get just a little something in there to just kind of get your digestion happening. But literally, you probably don't need anything. Just bring some nutrition along in your cycling jersey. Let's see, Loretta calling. That's a great question. Do me or Angie use sunscreen? Not really. A lot of people think, oh my God, you're always running out shirtless in the California sun. Well, when I run shirtless outside in the California sun like I did last night, it was like at dusk, so I'm not going to get sunburned. And when you see the videos of me running shirtless at noon, that's in like December and January and February, when I want to be out there with the strong sun's rays getting vitamin D. I'm not going to get burnt though, because A, the sun's rays are really weak in the winter, obviously. Secondly, I have a base tan. I'm not like, you know, pale white. And if I were that, yeah, I'd fry. So you want to have some kind of base tan and be sensible. Don't go out in the hardcore high sunlight for a long time, you know, in the summer, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't use sunscreen anymore. Sometimes I go surfing, I'll put a little on my nose, but I don't even know if I need to do that anymore. Do I have seasonal affective disorder? Good question, Eduardo. I used to. In fact, I guess it's an issue I still have, but I think the lifestyle that I live now, as opposed to before I knew any better, kind of counteracts that. Yeah, seasonal affective disorder means like the winter blues. You kind of feel sad in the fall when you're losing all the sunlight. And yeah, I just want to get out and get more sunlight. That's basically it. I didn't do that when I was younger. So I go out now without my glasses, let the sun just get me, or just do activities. Just running with my glasses on for an hour at noon in November can really help out a lot. So yeah, just get out and get some sunlight, and that's the best thing you can do, because the prescription is to get these like lights that put sun on your eyes, that put out the right spectrum. Just go out and get the sun, you know, assuming you live somewhere where there is sunlight. Oh, Joe Bud. Okay, finally, I can see your question now. Let's see. I'm sorry. Did you get my answer there on YouTube? Joe was the person asking. I asked this question 100 times. Why didn't you answer? I said, well, if you're on YouNow, I can see it a lot easier. If you're out on YouTube, I have to pick up my cell phone and look. But YouNow, it's like right in front of me. So, Joe Bud, your question is, and again, if you're on YouTube, come over to YouNow. Just hit the link in the show notes, and you can get in on this conversation easier. And I think the YouTube stream is delayed by like 20-ish seconds. Anyway, Joe Bud asked, Ron, my question is, what is in meat that is bad if the fat is taken out? Well, I make no pretense to be an expert on exactly what is in meat, but where does the cholesterol live in the meat? And often antibiotics and hormones, does that accumulate in the fat only? I don't know. I guess if you take the fat out, the saturated fats out. Oh, wow, thanks for that groovy tip there, Matt. Shears is making this cool animation I've never seen before. Thank you. I've never seen that. Beautiful. Anyway, let's see. How about the heme iron? You know, that's the type of iron that's found in animal products. I don't think that accumulates only in the fat. And what is some other stuff going on here? Yeah, the acidic proteins, that doesn't accumulate just in the fat there only. So I'm on a little roll here. I'm sure there's many more things I didn't even notice, not to mention the fact that an animal had to get slaughtered in order for there to be a piece of meat there for you to remove the fat from, and all the enormous inputs required to produce that piece of meat there for you, all the water, fertilizer, blah, blah. So, yeah, there's many reasons not to eat meat there, you know. So, sure, the fat's gone. You got rid of one thing that's bad, but there's still all those other things I mentioned there that are not removed, as far as I know. Again, I don't pretend to be a food scientist or anything. El Rojo, no, I don't eat much soy. No, not a big fan. I have it when I go to, like, you know, vegan Chinese restaurants. Yeah, the cholesterol is still there. Hey, annoying vegans. Yes, you're right there. Yeah, I listed the cholesterol, the heme iron, the acidic amino acids, hormones, stuff like that. Antibiotics. Dr. Robert Morris. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of him. I don't know too much about Dr. Robert Morris, but yeah. Not going to do a video about it or anything like that, but that's what you're asking. Let's see. And annoying vegans say there's no such thing as cholesterol-free and saturated fat-free meat. Yeah, this person was asking, though, what happens if you could, I don't even know if it's possible, I think he's asking in theory, if you could somehow remove all the fat from meat, would it then be safe and healthy to eat? And that was that was my whole answer there. Well, you can remove, in theory, I don't know how, I guess you could remove all the fat and the saturated fat, but you're still left with all the cholesterol, heme iron, and hormones and antibiotics and stuff like that. Can I whistle, sing in the turf? No, I'm horrible at whistling. I'm not even going to try. I mean, I barely can. It's just a really sad whistle. Let's see what's going on YouNow. What's for dinner today? Beyond Meat Burger? That would be very American, huh, for the holiday today, but we don't have any here, so unless we go and buy some at the market, probably not. We'll probably just have, you know, our typical keep it carb kind of food, you know, what we eat all the time, day in out. Oh, thanks for the tip there, Joe Bud. Thanks so much. You know what we eat, you know, so we'll probably have something that has maybe some, oh, Angie was talking maybe making ugali. That's in Keep It Carb Baby, too. You know what that is? Let me see if I could find ugali here and Keep It Carb Baby. Yeah, we haven't had that in a long time, and that used to be a old favorite. So you can find the picture for you. Yeah, here it is, ugali, Sukuma Wiki. It's a African dish from like the Kenyan, Ethiopian region. It's basically corn with a sauce made of greens, often chard or kale, and whatever veggies you might have laying around. And some runners are aware of this dish because, you know, the Kenyan runners are famous for carving up on ugali. So that's what Angie was talking about. Yeah, cornmeal. Yeah, see, I guess you can use polenta or something like that too. But yeah, it's pretty easy to make, it's tasty, and it's fun. Hey Joe Bud, so to answer your question, you said you're not vegan yet, but eating mostly plant foods. So seeking lots of answers. So I hope I answered your question there, Joe Bud. Yeah, if you remove the fat, you might get rid of saturated fat, but that's the only thing, as far as I know, that you may have gotten rid of. Do you have any pets? Yeah, if you follow us on YouTube or Instagram, you'll see our cats, Bodhi and Jojo, all the time. Let's see what else is going on here on YouTube. Hey, French Blue. Hey, how's it going? Rio says, if you haven't eaten meat in a long time, like the price and it's expensive. Yeah, that's what always pissed me off. I said, oh, I could never go vegan. Going vegan is so expensive. I tried going vegan for a week and I spent way more money than I should. Well, meat's freaking expensive. Even though it's subsidized by the government here in the United States, at least, it's still expensive. Again, what's cheaper than rice and potatoes and legumes, bananas? And there's nothing cheaper than that, even with the subsidies. What are my go-to carbs for long runs? Asked Skeeter. Are you talking about like bringing nutrition along? I've never in my life ever brought any food along on long runs, and I go on at least I haven't much this year, but regularly do 13-mile long runs on the weekend. When I'm done, I'm hungry, and often I'll end those 13-mile long runs at a Chipotle, But I don't bring anything. I mean, you should have enough glycogen stored in your body to run 13 miles. You should have enough glycogen in your body to run 15, 18 miles, no problem. Yeah, if you're doing something 20 plus, maybe you'll want some kind of nutrition along the way, but I've never ran that far, so it's not an issue. I'll run with my water because dehydration is definitely an issue, but running out of glycogen, not. See, Caddy, do we eat sprouts? Yeah, not a big, you don't make a big deal about it, but yeah, we put sprouts on things sometimes, salads and stuff like that. So Joe Bud, so the cholesterol is still bad. Yeah, the cholesterol is still in there and all the other bad things, like I said, the heme iron and like. So yeah, you're not getting rid of that. You're just getting rid of one bad thing, but the thing about meat, even though it might have some vitamins and nutrients in there, it has a whole host of things that are not that good for you. So yeah, you get rid of one, it's hard to get rid of them all, basically. What's the best cooking method in our opinion? I don't know, it depends what the dish is, Steaming and boiling are fine. We cook things in the skillet too. Yeah, I heard people talking about Neil Bernard's concert in DC. Is he really going to be there with his band? And he plays guitar. I saw a video of him with a Les Paul. Respect. Hey, what's up, 619? You're always there. Is that really what you look like, 2619? You look so happy and cheery in that image of you. Do you have to take a mineral supplement as a vegan? What do you guys think about that? That's what The Truth is asking on YouTube. Do you have to take what mineral are you asking about there, The Truth? I've never taken a mineral supplement. I've been vegan since 2010 and I've had perfect blood tests virtually the whole time. I still want to get my blood tested this year. But what mineral would you be lacking? Because a lot of people think you'd be lacking on calcium. Nope, that's easy to get on plants. Iron. My iron levels are strong. So as long as you're eating your good, well-rounded diet, it shouldn't be a problem. Well-rounded meaning get some greens in there too. Do I take any kind of vitamin D in the winter, Katie? No, that's when I go out. I told you I run shirtless for go out run at high noon, 11 to 1, something like that. Go out and run shirtless. And if you have a job, well, do it on weekends. Then you don't have to do it every day. Just get out there at least once a week and get some good sun. That doesn't work for people at every latitude. I understand that. You can Google I forgot just how I found it, but you can see at what latitude you can still get enough sun in the winter time, just from going out with what I described there. If you're too far north, like Seattle, New York, it's probably not going to work, but southern, central California works out. Let's see. Where do we get our calcium, guys? El Rojo asks, where do we get our calcium? What plants have calcium? Just Google best plant sources of calcium. Just Google best sources of a calcium. I've done this before on videos, and you'll see. Even though there's a few animal products in there, the majority of the top 10 of that list is dominated by plant food. So again, it's not an issue. And it's not like weird, bizarre, rare plant foods you've never heard of. It's stuff that we're eating all the time. Let's see. What are you guys asking on YouTube here? Let's see. Okay. 619. You don't look like that. That's a soccer player in Manchester. Okay, I was going, wow, yeah, you look pretty fit and elite there, you know? Let's see. What else you guys talking about? Let's see. Brazil nuts. Yeah, Dr. Greger and How Not to Die recommends eating like maybe a couple Brazil nuts like once every 2 odd weeks. So I was doing that for a while, and Brazil nuts are really, really expensive, but if you're only buying like 2 or 4, it ends up being like 60 cents or something like that. So yeah, we have those once in a while too. I've been doing that for a few months. I got to remember next time I'm at the market, they have them in the bulk at Whole Foods, so just, you know, get a few. Joe Bud asks, do vegan hamburgers taste the same as regular burgers? Well, depends. There's no such thing as a vegan burger. There's so many kinds. Like, are you talking about a Beyond Burger? Are you talking about the Fire Engine 2 burgers, which are trying not to emulate meat, you know, which are more whole foods? There's like a few simple whole foods ingredients like you know, beans and stuff like that. The Beyond Burger is trying, they're going head on. They emulate not only the taste and smell of beef burgers, they emulate the nutritional profile. They have just as much everything. They even have a smidgen more protein than meat burgers do, than, you know, cow burgers do. Just to, you know, make you, not panic there that you're not eating real meat there. Okay, cool, Joe Bud. You live in San Francisco. Yeah, as we showed on our video from last month, we didn't even try all the places we wanted to go to. So yeah, definitely. Bay Area is a great place. And not only San Francisco, we still need to go back and do a video on the East Bay, like Berkeley, Oakland. It's a whole nother great scene out there too. So if you live on the East Bay, just go check out there. There's tons of places. Ideas for traveling or taking food along on a plane or road trip. Road trip's easier because you have control. No one's going to say what you can't bring. Plane's tougher. You don't want to bring bananas; they'll spoil. You know, you just try to bring some easy to pack foods. Like Angie might make some cookies or something like that. Road trip, bring anything you want. You know. No, Joe, we didn't make it to the East Bay on that trip. That's a future trip we want to do. East Bay vegan. Let's see, you didn't miss much yet. 619. Let's see. Do I like tofu, seitan, tempeh? Yeah, I like them, but I'll qualify them. I don't really buy them. We don't really bring them into the house, but often when we're at like an Asian vegan restaurant where they're making some kind of fake meat of some kind, they'll be made out of seitan, even at a non-Asian restaurant. But that's where I'll usually eat those. But yeah, we don't have any regular practice of buying and preparing meals with seitan and soy. Not that I have anything really against them. I'm just not really excited about them. I'd rather have whole foods. But when I go to a restaurant, you know, when in Rome, let them do their thing and make their weird, you know, fake meats and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. Is it okay to eat GMO vegetables? I tend to stay away from GMO stuff. I'm really not a big fan of them at all. I know not all are as bad as you know, you can't. It's hard to brush them all with the same, you know, negativities. Some are really sinister, some are not, but I just tend to stay away from GMO foods. I figure there's so many non-GMO foods that are awesome. Why bother? You know, there's no need to patent a gene and make humans eat that patented gene, because in nature things are always changing. Genes are always mutating. I don't see why we should freeze it all in one gene and have a company own the patent for that. It just very not. It's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, let's move on. What am I drinking? I just finished my smoothie here. It's done. Ice cubes and coconut water to cool it down. and bananas and blueberries. Oh, thanks for the tip there, Joe Bud. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm glad you're liking the answers there. Let's say, Joe Bud, do I know any vegan restaurants between San Francisco and the San Jose Peninsula? I mean, have you heard of happycow.com? Look up happycow.com if you haven't. They have an app on the iPhone. It costs a couple bucks, but their website's absolutely free. And what Happy Cow is, it helps you find restaurants in pretty much any city in the world. And since they're California based, California is very well populated on their website, meaning you can pretty much type in any city. Type in San Jose, it'll show you where to go. You want to go eat in Mountain View, it'll show you where to go. You want to eat in Palo Alto, it'll show you where to go. So yeah, all up and down the peninsula there. You might, it's cool. It has not only just vegan restaurants, but they have vegetarian restaurants that have vegan options, and even just regular carnivore restaurants that have vegetarian and vegan options. And people review them on there so you can know exactly what's up, if it's good, or the options good. So look up Happy Cow, Joe. If you haven't found it now, your mind will be blown. I kind of envy you to be in your position, because that site has changed my life. Happy Cow. And if you like it, get the app. Support those guys. I know them. I don't get any kickback or anything like that, but I think what they're doing is cool, and they couldn't be just more humble, chill, just likable guys, So yeah, Happy Cow is rad. They are not sociopaths or anything. They're just chill dudes. Any thoughts on cacao? No, not a big fan. I don't believe it's an octave of the sun. Angie kind of goes down that dark chocolate road a little bit more than I do, and sometimes I'll take a little nibble. But yeah, if you like it, cool. I'm not going to bag on you. I don't bag on Angie when she's doing her octave of the sun, Let's see, what are you guys talking about on YouTube here? Let's see. How can you tell what fruit, vegetable is GMO? Well, typically, like, we buy most of our stuff at farmers markets. Yeah, they don't sell everything like bananas and stuff there, but typically something grown at a supermarket is not GMO. No, something sold at a farmer's market is not GMO. They're typically smaller farms. They don't license GMO corn genes, and you just can ask them. At supermarkets, it's a little tougher. There's a way to read the labels, what number they begin on. Often stuff will be labeled like non-GMO corn or non-GMO what have you. And just Google. If you're not sure, like you see some mangoes, Google GMO mangoes. Are there GMO mangoes? That's what you want to find out. Because a lot of fruits have not been GMO'd. It's not been, like, say, worth Monsanto's while to invest in a gene for them. So Google that. Yeah, not everything's been GMO'd yet, thankfully. Think about it. There's millions of fruits and vegetables and plants, and they've only done a few dozen of them, ones that they can make the most bang for the buck out of from. Let's see. Yeah, those stickers with the numbers. Yeah, you can look at that. The GMO ones typically begin with what numbers? I totally forgot, because I really don't have to think about that much, because I know what I'm buying when I go to the stores. If anyone wants to share that, go for it. Let's see, what are you saying there, Joe Bud? I have pushed you to go way more plant-based. It's vegan gains that I don't like. Well, who cares if you don't like a certain vegan? I'm not going to mention any names, but you guys all know there's a certain vegan or two out there, male and or female, that I'm not into. I don't really agree with what they say, but that doesn't affect my veganism. Why would it? I don't watch them. So who cares? If vegan gains bugs you, why should that stop you from going vegan? If you don't like what he says, I bet you there's a dozen others, not only YouTubers, but medical doctors, other influencers that resonate with you. So who cares if one vegan out there bugs you? I'm sure there's more than one carnivore out there that bugs you, right? You know what I'm saying? So who cares if one vegan or a couple vegans bug you? There's many more non-vegans, I'm sure, that bug us all too, right? I'm just saying, yeah, don't let one person stop you from doing something. It's like, I don't want to play tennis because, I think that, Rafael Nadal's a bad person or something like that, which I don't think he is. Okay, then watch Roger Federer, watch Djokovic, watch the new kids like Zverev and Krios, Hey, let's see, surfing the turf, Sweden, cool. Is that at 6119? I wanted to say, is it the produce that begins with 8? Is that the one to be suspicious of, guys? Comment down below. 619 is asking. That's what I kind of remember too. Or is it 9? I forget which is which, because I told you I just don't bother buying those fruits anymore anyway. Let's see, what else you guys asking about? Yeah, and another good way. Yeah, here's one simple way to avoid GMO. Buy something organic. You know, if it's organic, at least the way the law stands right now in the United States, it can't be GMO. And if it doesn't say organic, look for the words non-GMO, because you still could buy something that's conventional but non-GMO. Like you can buy some conventional corn that's not GMO, but you have to find that labeling. I'll be right back, guys. Let me put this in the sink so it doesn't stain, and I'm bring some water. So 9, yeah, that's it. 9 is organic. Is that right, Susan B? Yeah, thanks, guys, for helping out. I'll be right back. All right, so here I am. Here I am, guys. All right. All right, so let's see, any questions here? Some of my favorite vegan YouTubers. Let me show you my calves here. You guys think I have like a little wimpy body here, like a teenage girl? Look at these calves. See that? So anyone that says Ryan has no muscle, I'll match my calves up with anyone. But no, those aren't important. It's about upper body. It depends what you're into, you know? Anyway. All right, David, I was asking people if you could find the information that says that WHO only included 7 studies and its meta-analysis. I searched. I told you. I wasn't just bagging on her for no reason. I searched for an hour to try to find that. So, could you link it for me there, David? I'd like to check it out. Because again, if I blundered and if What the Health blundered, so did Harvard, so did Time, so did American Cancer Society. So let me see that, because everyone else was referring to the 800. So apparently Ginny has some information that is really, 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 really hard to find. Let's see. Anyway, did I watch the Ask Yourself and Vegan Gains debates? Which one is Ask Yourself? I've kind of lost track of all of Vegan Gates debates, so not sure what to say there. I can't recall. Okay, AJ is asking, should you feel bad for having a tortoiseshell pick guard on your Fender guitar there? No, it's not made out of tortoises. I don't think they ever were. That was just a descriptive term, like, you know, like candy apple red. It's not made out of candy or apple, you know. So no, don't feel bad. However, though, let's see. Yeah, I got a tortoiseshell on my John Mayer Strat. I think it looks awesome. So yeah, if it looks good on your Strat, you know, cool. It's not made out of cows. Okay, so David, so yeah, thanks for the information here. You told me regarding my, have you guys seen my video today where I debunked Ginny Messina, the vegan registered dietitian that debunked What the Health, and she happens to be like the idol of a natural vegan, and she was claiming that What the Health blundered, saying that they looked at 800 studies, and their the World Health Organization looked at 800 studies when they came up with their proclamation that processed meat's a class 1 carcinogen. So I looked all over the internet, and Time magazine said 800 studies, Harvard said 800 studies, even the World Health Organization themselves in the press release said 800 studies. But in one of their releases said, well, they looked at 800 total and they dwindled it down to 400 for the processed meats recommendation. But Ginny Messina said, no, it's 7, it's 7. And David said he has some information that it might be 7. So he's telling me, look up carcinogenicity of consumption of red meat and processed meat. But you still say regardless. They looked at 800 studies, and it's appropriate to say such. Okay, I'll check that out. Let me put that in my, I'll copy and I'll paste that later. I'm going to copy it now so I can Google that when this live stream is done to check that out, because I want to see where the 7 study's assertion came from, because I couldn't find anything. I tried so hard. Herbs and spices we use every day. Angie lists them all and Keep It Carb, baby. All the ones we use. You know, she tells you in the beginning. If you get like, you know, maybe like, you know, a dozen or so spices, you can make pretty much all our recipes. Off the top of my head, let me think. Turmeric, paprika, herbs de Provence, dill, red pepper, black pepper, some nutritional yeast maybe here and there. Well, lots of nutritional yeast actually. So just those are some of the ones that come off the top of my head, and there's more to it than that. Okay, ask yourself. Yeah, that's right. He's thanks Twisted Hippie. Yeah, he's the one that debates with Vegan Gains when they try to debate the meat eaters and stuff like that. So cool. And again, thanks for that information there, David K. Wartler. I'm sure a natural vegan's going to have to make her response about it and all. Anyway, is there a relationship, Pragya asked, between dental health and veganism? I don't know. You guys tell me. Let's see. 619, would me and unnatural vegan ever become best friends? I doubt it. Let's see. Cool, Vaughn. I'm glad you like the debunking videos. Cool, Vegan Will. I'm glad you're liking the debunking video too there. Cool. Let's see what's going on back on YouNow. Nutritional yeast, yeah, some people don't like it. I like it. Most people are fine with it. They don't have any weird reactions. I've never had one. Yeah, it just gives things like a more cheesy texture and flavor. Nooch, that's what it's called shorthand. Nooch for nutritional yeast. So, Dr. Greger said it was bad hours ago? Huh, I'll check that out. He said people with Crohn's have reactions to yeast. He did not say it was bad for everyone. Okay, thanks for clearing that up there, Carly. And Angie, before she went vegan, she never diagnosed with it, but had Crohn's disease-like symptoms. And she would know because her mother has Crohn's disease. So, yeah, as soon as Angie went vegan, those symptoms, which have been plaguing her for decades, gone. Completely gone. And Angie has nutritional yeast with me all the time. So, you know, your mileage may vary is what I'm saying. You know, it may affect you if you have Crohn's-like symptoms. It may not. You just have to check it out. Okay, Omsky, you don't have Crohn's, but Nooch and you don't get along. All right, cool. As long as you know, yeah, a lot of people, you know, there's people that can't eat tomatoes, you know. So, yeah, whatever doesn't work for you, don't do it. Where's Angie? Angie went to her yoga class this morning. She's probably out with her teacher right now, maybe having some coffee or something like that. Hopefully having a nice conversation about something cool. Cool, I'm glad you're liking the debunking videos, guys, in 619. What do I think about chlorella? I don't really think about chlorella. I know what you're talking about, that and spirulina and stuff like that. Unless you're doing some strange kind of like detoxing of some kind, maybe. I don't see any real reason for it. Which kind of paprika? I think it's smoked paprika. You could try them both out, see which works out both best for you, see, Katie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure smoked is what Angie's into. Pragya, any tips to new vegan YouTubers for doing effective activism using YouTube? Let's see, tips for what exactly? To grow your channel so you'll be more effective at activism because you'll reach more people? Or just tips on how to do the activism and you're not really concerned about anything else? Answer that and I'll try to get back to you on that. I'm not sure what you're looking for exactly there. Okay, those annoying vegans, what do you say about Ask Yourself? Has a great argument that he always puts forth called name the trait, as in name the trait in animals that makes it okay for us to kill them, but not humans. That's a great one. Yeah, I mean, I've never phrased it like that, but it's just a human-centric approach. You're like, oh, the world is my oyster. I can do with it as I want. But there's certain laws. I just can't go hit a human over the head or stab them in the arm if that's my desire because the world's my oyster. There's certain laws out there, but animals, for the most part, unless it's someone's pet, are kind of free game, you know, so I think that's what people are thinking. The world's here for their amusement, and the animals are there for their amusement too. And humans are there for amusement, but there's certain laws that prevent us from doing some things that that you might be thinking about. But yeah, there's no trait in animals that makes them come kill me. Um, let's see. I've never heard of Dr. Rhonda. Never have. Rhonda Patrick. Nope, never heard of her. The paleo diet isn't reflective of the Paleolithic era. Yeah, I don't know anyone. I've never seen anyone that does paleo that eats a diet that was actually consumed 10 or 20 or 30, 40,000 years ago. Yeah. I guess they're saying they're taking ideas, inspiration from it, a fantasy of what it must have been like to have this endless supply of meat or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that abundant if they didn't have animals in captivity. Let's see. D-Rock says, just learning that there is an overwhelming chance that poop will be on your meat. Yeah, totes. Contamination for sure. Let's see. Katie says, somehow I just enjoy vegan food without herbs and spices and salt. Is that weird? Should I use them? No need to. There's no need. Usually that stuff's just to flavor the food, to make it more enjoying. And if you're cool without the seasonings and spices, fine, totally. Yeah, there's nothing sacred about them. I think if you read Dr. Greger's book, How Not to Die, he does praise most spices for having lots of nutrients in them. But I don't think he ever said you have to eat them to be a healthy vegan or anything like that. I think he's just saying they're not bad. So they're actually kind of good for you. But yeah, they're not essential for healthy vegan or anything like that. So Crystal P does take chlorella tablets. I say, yeah, if you're doing some kind of intense detoxing, it might be helpful. But for your average vegan that's not trying to detox a liver or anything like that, I don't see any need for it. Yeah, detoxing kind of thing only. Yeah, spirulina, same kind of thing. If you're doing some kind of detoxing for whatever reason you're detoxing for, it might be helpful there. What do I think about Himalayan salt? We might have a little bit here. I mean, yeah, we usually use much salt, and if we do, it's like we just grab a few grains, maybe a dozen or so, whatever, sprinkle them around. That provides plenty of flavor. So yeah, there's not one salt I think that's the healthy one. It's gonna make you live longer, and the other ones will kill you or anything like that. We try not to overdo the salt. Yeah, for those of you that haven't had this happen to you yet, you don't usually. Most people don't need as much salt on their food as they think they do. Often their food already has salt in it, then they put more salt on top. Their taste buds, their body's kind of desensitized to salt. And once you kind of stop using salt for a while and detox from salt, if you will, you find you can put a lot less salt, like maybe 1/5 of what you're using before, and get the same effect. You're just desensitized before, so that's what I'm saying. You don't need to have that much salt on your food. And often, yeah, salt comes in other things, like Omski, it's in your hot sauce, so yeah, I don't worry about it too much. Yeah, Bob, I'm not saying don't ever have salt. I'm just saying most Americans put way more salt on their food. Go to most restaurants, it's like, oh my God, what are they thinking? Like, it's basically the food's a delivery mechanism for salt sometimes. I remember one time at Gracias Madre, God, what was it? It was just so salty. It wasn't just me. There were 4 other of us too, or 4 of us total. We had to send it back as some appetizer. It was just completely drenched in salt. And once I learned more about that chef's philosophy, yeah, she's really salt heavy. Just like, wow, just wait. I mean, guess your average American will find it cool, but for those of us that have, greater salt sensitivity, since we're not blasting our taste buds with it, really notice that. Let's see. Danielle, thank you for inviting us to New York. I'd love to go to a vegan restaurant in Harlem. That sounds tasty right now. Please tell me more, Danielle. What tasty dishes are at your restaurant there? Sounds awesome. Crystal says, since not adding salt to her food, she's become sensitive to it. Wow. See what I'm talking about? Um, yeah, turmeric, black pepper. Yeah, those are good spices there. Cool. You're fine. You're doing fine there. Yeah, see, Katie says, if you remove salt for a few weeks, you begin to really enjoy food. That's another thing I didn't mention, too. The problem with too much salt in food, besides the health stuff, is as far as eating and enjoying your food, it overwhelms the natural flavors of the food. You just taste pretty much salt and just a little bit of whatever's in there, like beans or whatever you're trying to eat. So I want good food. I don't want salt to like mask the quality or the lack of quality of the food. So yeah, what I'm saying is enjoy the food, not the salt. Really, that's what you want to do. You want to be eating food, right? Not eating salt. So yeah, again, I don't want to come out like I'm anti-salt. I have salt all the time. It's in foods that we buy all the time. Just, we have very reasonable amounts. But yeah, we typically don't put salt into our foods. That's not one of the spices on our rack here that Angie and I go for, even though we do own some. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, 619. You stop salt, some foods, it tastes more extra salty. It's because when you go to a restaurant, you're just going, wow, they just put way, like a mega dose of salt in there, Let's see, thoughts on Hawaiian spirulina. I didn't know there was Hawaiian spirulina. You tell me about that. Happy Healthy Vegan Tour. I forgot, I'm still wearing my stuff here. Let's see. All right, what else, you guys? Let me go back to YouTube here. All right, Danielle, let's see this dish you're going to get me hungry about here. One of my favorite dishes there at this Harlem vegan restaurant, I tried with a coworker from Red Cross. He absolutely loved it. Oh, you didn't tell me what it was, though. Helped him to know that vegan dishes can be really tasty. Yeah, a lot of vegan restaurants, too, they'll put the normal amounts of salt in because they're trying to show people, hey, vegan isn't just bland hippie food. It could be as flavorful and nutty and spicy and even as salty as any food. Like, I was saying at Gracias Madre there. So that's cool. I mean, you want to appeal to people. What's cool though is if they have options where you can ask them, hey, can you guys not put like salt, a lot of salt in there or whatever, That's cool because often they have control, and then you have control at the table too with the salt and pepper on most tables. So, but yeah, we want people to find that their first experiences with vegan food isn't some kind of it's just so bland, I could never go there. No, give them all the spices that they're used to. That's what I believe anyway. Trina, do I consume moringa? What's that? I've never heard of that. Should we start a food truck, Omski? Yeah, I see people that do that, but that'd be a full-time job. We wouldn't be making YouTube videos anymore, 619. How do you think your favorite dish is Chipotle burritos? I've been doing lately though, to get actually less salt and actually more food, less salt and more food. That's what it's all about, right? For the same price. I've been getting the bowls at Chipotle because they give you more food because they're not using any tortillas or anything like that. And the tortillas actually have a lot of salt. I went onto their nutrition page on their website for Chipotle, and if you don't get the tortillas, they have less salt. But you get the bowls, and if you want, and you ask them for free, they'll give you a few tortillas, some corn torts. So so you get more food for the same price. So that's my tip for you guys at Chipotle to maximize your dollar. Ask for the bowl and just get a few free torts on the side. Do I use a DHA supplement? No. I get plenty of omega-3s from all the nuts and seeds that I eat, and no, not an issue. Let's see, Morgan Sane asks, what social hardships do you experience as a vegan? That's where I struggle most. Social hardships, like I think I know what you're asking about. Like today is a big meat and booze holiday, right? And we didn't get invited to any big meat and booze parties, but if you're cool with that, I'm fine because that would take time away from what I want to be working on today and stuff. So I guess being a self-starter and self-motivated helps. Are you like that at all? If you're more socially dependent, then it could be tougher. And we all are socially dependent to some degree. I'm just saying I'm a little less so. I guess because I grew up as an only child, so I'm kind of like naturally self-motivated to just kind of do my own thing. not to say I don't like to go out, obviously, but when I do go out, what really helps is I hope, are you guys still there, annoying vegans? Is having friends that locally, like here in Southern California, Los Angeles in particular. There's so many vegan events. I can't even keep up with them. Seriously, there was one this last weekend out in the valley, just way too far and hot for me to go to. But yeah, you meet lots of vegan people out there, fellow vegan YouTubers. So that helps out a lot, knowing that your social scene can now shift from, people who don't share a lot of your values as far as ethics and food go, and you find a new crew of people. So I understand that could be hard though, depending on where you live, but poke around. Even people I've known that live in some of the most non-vegan friendly cities and towns, once they've looked around, they found vegans out there. Okay, you're saying it's more about people disagreeing with the vegan diet, not many vegans in the area. Well, they don't have to agree. People don't have to know what you're doing, right? Just do your own thing. You don't have to tell them, hey, I'm a vegan or anything. You can wear your vegan shirts and represent, be proud. But yeah, obviously, vegans are gonna. Obviously, non-vegans will often disagree. It's changing more, particularly in places like California, where people just know, oh yeah, there's vegan restaurants here and vegan groups and parties there. People are just kind of used to it here. It wasn't like it was in the past. It's different here now. So hopefully that kind of attitude shift in people's minds, non-vegan people's minds, will be more places. Let's see. Yeah, those annoying vegans. That vegan street fair was so hot. The fire, there's a fire just a few miles away, burning houses down from vegan street fair. I mean, it was about 100 degrees here in Long Beach. And I want to drive in my car, which is from 1981, has crappy air conditioning. It has it, but it's not that great. And go to somewhere even hotter than hang out outside all day. I couldn't do that, so that's why we didn't go to vegan street fair. So I'm glad you had a fun time in the heat there, But we just spent the previous Saturday. There was 2 vegan pop-up food events here. We just made a vlog on that. Check that out. It's a vegan Mexican food vlog pop-up. Check it out. You can see what we did last weekend. That we were perfectly full from that still. Both. Satiation-wise and just kind of partying-wise. Cool. Morgan saying, I hope that helps out the stuff I said there. I've had to go through all this too, how to deal with being a vegan in a very non-vegan world. But yeah, I think just trying to find more social connection. It starts online, I think, unless you have some vegan friends in real flesh and blood, brick and mortar life, that starts online and then expands outward. I'll hear about an event online, or I'll see someone those annoying vegans online on YouTube, and you go out and you meet them, and then friendships and relationships develop. So that's what's so cool about the internet. It's a great way to get networking happening. Yeah, people are kind of judgy when you say you don't eat meat, but I guess maybe try to not put yourself in situations where you have to explain that. If they ask you that, then it's on them. But you don't have to tell them, I don't eat meat. If someone sees you eating a sandwich or whatever that happens to have not a piece of meat in it, and they ask you that, just say, oh yeah, I don't eat meat. Yeah, I'm vegan. Google it. There's more of us now than ever before. It's a growing movement. It's huge. Watch What the Health. Watch Cowspiracy. I'm not saying I'm better than you or anything. I just don't eat meat. And there's a million good reasons why. Despite what people like Unnatural Vegan may have to say, there's a million great reasons, both from a health perspective, an ethical perspective, environmental perspective, why eating meat's not the greatest thing to do in the world. Let's see, what's going on here? No, Earthling, nor I've talked about this before. As far as turning family members vegan, me and Angie are batting 0%. We've got some of Angie's sisters, her half-sisters, interested. They've come to a few vegan festivals. They have our books, Keep It Carb Baby. And not only have them, they actually use them. Thanksgiving, some of the sisters, as well as us, brought vegan dishes to Thanksgiving. It wasn't a fully vegan Thanksgiving by any stretch, but yeah, we've got them interested, and they respect it. They don't think it's weird or anything like that. But no, I haven't made anyone fully vegan yet. But I'm cool with that, as long as people are eating more plants, fewer animals, it's a win, you know? Good question there, Flaw Fixer. Why do meat eaters care if we don't eat meat? How does that make any difference to their life that some person that they barely know or don't even know doesn't eat the same exact diet as they do, you know? It's just silly. It's them really, here it is, guys, projecting their own insecurities. You know, something about a vegan diet can seem really threatening to some people. So that's it. It's just them projecting insecurities. It has nothing to do with you. It has all to do with going on in them. That's one thing I've learned dealing with mean comments and haters. 99% of the time, the mean thing they're saying has absolutely nothing to do with you. Something you did provoked that reaction, it triggered them, but what they're saying is a projection of something going on inside of them, and they're just taking it on you because something you did or said or something you did, some behavior triggered them. So little tip to you guys there that are having to deal with negativity, either on a personal level, like Morgan Sane was describing, or even on a bigger level, like I'm sure those annoying vegans and other of us YouTubers get on a near daily basis, you know, this annoying comments from meat eaters that got triggered by either something we said or just the fact that we're vegan. We have vegan in our channel names. Cool, Chris. I'm glad we've been able to help, you know, be a source of support for your vegan journey. That's really what our channel is all about. We're not trying to come out and say, hey, I know so much about vegan science and vegan research, and I'm going to tell you all the facts and truth. Listen to me. No, we're not that. We're not going to tell you how to, you know, live your life. We're just sharing what works for us. That's where our area of expertise is. What has been working for Angie and Ryan for all these years, you know? And if you can gain something from that, you know, from what we do, from how we eat, what have you, that's our goal here on YouTube. You know, we're trying to share what we've learned and provide a forum for us to get that information out. Because before YouTube, we were just emailing people or asking us questions. It would take too long. YouTube is way more effective. Have I got any crazy reactions in real life when you tell me you're vegan? Nothing. I just remember one time we were at a banquet. It was actually a wedding, and the person sitting next to us, it was an older man, much older than me. He said, live a little. I'm going, really? Living a little for you is to eat food that's probably, you know, really not in the best interest for my health, that I find repulsive on a taste level, on a moral level. How is that living a little? Usually if you want to live a little, you're doing something you like, you know, eating some vegan Ben & Jerry's. For me, that's living a little. Eating some Nanamu, that's living a little. But eating a dead animal that I find repulsive, no, that's not living a little. That's like torture. That's something I don't find attractive in any way, you know. So I found that an interesting comment, live a little, you know. Anyway. Cool, Peter. That's what we try to do. We try our best to present the facts. Maybe once in a while, something's not 100% accurate, but I try my best to get the true information. I know most of you guys don't have the time to do all the research that I do. Some of you guys do that. But that's what I feel one of my duties, one of my jobs is here on YouTube, is to try my best to get to the truth of the matter, to spend the time, the extra time to research topics and try to figure out what the hell is going on. Like the one I did on Dr. Greger and rice and arsenic, I had to watch all 13 of his videos and just pull out the essence. What's his message? What's the bottom line? What's the truth of what he's saying? I wasn't disputing his facts. I'm just saying, assuming everything he said here is right, what is he getting at? What rice is safe? What rice is not safe? So that's what I try to do. That took a long time, but it's worth it, you know? Let's see. Yeah, I've been vegan since 2010. If I remember correctly, yeah, it was fall of 2010 that I went fully vegan. Let's see. Cool. Luann, thank you. You've been vegan on your vegan diet for 2 months. And you're off 5 medications. Amazing, Luann. That's amazing. Congrats. Lost 25 pounds. You could run and walk, ride your bike, play with your dogs. Cool. Awesome. You know, not everyone loses weight that quickly. So I just want to advertise this as a for sure weight loss thing. But no, congratulations to you. That's not uncommon to to be off medication. So I hope you're working with a doctor, because this is stuff you don't want to mess with. You want to get off your medications in a safe way that's not going to make you sick somehow. Cool. See, Katie, people at supermarkets think you're crazy when you buy a bag of beans. Yeah, that's what I used to feel like too. A big box of bananas. Now I don't buy boxes. I'll buy maybe like 1/3 boxes at a time of bananas. And every time there's like a new employee at Whole Foods and they see me with that, they always ask some crazy question like, "Oh, so what are you gonna do with all those bananas?" That's how I know they're new. Plus, I don't recognize them. Cool, Crystal P. Migraines went away after a month. Sweet, good job, awesome. What's the bottom line in rice? Watch my video from it's like 2 weeks ago. Bottom line is rice from the south, meaning southern states, bad. There's a number of reasons for that. I go into that in the video. There's 2 major reasons why rice in the south is bad. California rice doesn't have either of those issues. Same with rices from most of the world, particularly India, Pakistan. So long grain brown from California, India, Pakistan are your best ones with regards to A, lowest arsenic levels, and B, highest levels of nutrients once the rice has been rinsed, washed, and all that. And that has nothing to do with the arsenic, but that's what you're looking for. Lots of nutrition, low arsenic. So that's the bottom line, but there's a lot of detail as to why that's so. So watch my video from, like I said, like 2 weeks ago about nutrition facts and his whole video series about arsenic and rice. Bottom line, yeah, it's safe to eat, despite what a certain vegan YouTuber out there is trying to say about rice. So several, I think, huh? Well, at least one comes to mind, and I'm not going to mention his or her name. Hey, Luann, you're seeing a doctor because you're seeing a cardiologist because you have ascending aorta. Wow, I'm not sure what that is. And I'm also seeing an asthma doctor, and he's thrilled, and he's thinking about doing it with his wife. Cool. All right, good. I'm glad you're still you're under medical supervision when you're coming off medications. That's not to be done lightly because I'm not a medical doctor, but that's the right and the way to do it for sure. Wild rice. I love wild rice. Yeah, wild rice is really expensive, but it's really good, full of nutrients, and we have that often too. Often Angie will put it into soups and stews and just let it cook in there. But yeah, wild rice is great. Let's see. So what else you guys talk about here? Let's see. Lundberg organic rice from Texas. That's what you're eating. Lundberg, according to Dr. Greger, I don't know if they do this for every single rice product that they sell, but he showed how on Lundberg's website they go through and test arsenic levels in the rice and they put it up there. So check it out, because Texas is pretty much in the south of the United States, the southern states. So you want to be really, really careful. So if Lundberg has tested it and it tests well, go for it. I know Lundberg grows a lot of their rice here in California, and that, as I showed on our episode, tested really well. So you know you're good with Lundberg California rice. So Texas, do your homework, please, before you check that one off as a safe one, because I haven't looked at that one yet. And if you do find the information, please let me know. Let's see. John Grievous says, Gravis, you've been vegan for 1.5 years. Your energy and fatigue have gotten worse. Whoa. What are you doing? What are you eating? Just curious. Wonder if you're eating enough. That's a first question I would wonder. And what are you eating? Are you eating a lot of whole food plants? Are you eating processed food? The quality and the type of food you're eating will affect things too. But yeah, usually the number one thing when I hear people talk about energy, it's like eating enough calories and making sure you're hydrated too, which I'm still thirsty. Smoothies make you thirsty. I'll be right back. 10 seconds tops. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And also, while I was standing up there, sleep. I don't care what kind of diet you're on, sleep. If you're not properly resting overnight to just regenerate your body's energy and recover from any physical activity that you did in the day or days before, you're going to be fatigued. So lots of food, lots of sleep, lots of water. Those are the basics. I'm not saying your problem lies in there, but make sure you got those 3 foundations down first. Those are super important. Whenever I violate any of those, yeah, I'm tired. And getting old too, you know, I'm older now, I'm 50 now. I'm 50. You know, that makes you a little more tired too as you get older. You usually don't get more energetic. You know, I don't think I have the same energy as I did from 15 years ago or anything like that. Yeah, Earthling Norris says maybe you're eating junk food, refined oil, fat, salt. Yeah, that could do it too. Yeah, eating a high oil diet. I'm not going to mention any vegan YouTuber who eats a lot of high fat and oily foods, but I think she's a good example of kind of low energy. Let's see. Phaedra, how do you convince someone on a keto diet that it's really bad for them? They reference bro science facts that are obviously wrong. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a whole movement in the low carb keto world that where they have some studies that show that saturated fat is good for you, butter is good for you. Well, you know, anyone who's funded those studies, you know, Dr. Greger's talked about this. It's the dairy industry, so it's not the most what's the word I'm talking about? Thorough science out there. The way they did their meta-analysis by getting rid of variables that actually would show that their products aren't that healthy. But there's nothing you can do really. You know, I'm sorry. I don't know if there's anything you can do. They have their philosophy, their ideology, and it's really hard. It's like trying to talk to someone about religion or politics. You know, it's tough. So I could say just let them do it, and it's unfortunate how many animals will die, but let them do it and see how long they can sustain it for. See, Katie, should you sup with vitamin D because it's not sunny in your winter? Yeah, do it. Yeah, totes. You should have no negative side effects of that. Totally. Let's see. Ooh. How about olive oil? Babu asks. It's been shown pretty much no oil is really all that great for you. I just ask, why would you want olive oil for? What are you hoping it provides? Some kind of texture or taste to the food? Are you looking for health or something like that? Let's see. Oh, cool. D-Rock. You thought I was 40-ish? Cool, thanks. No, I just turned 50 July 31st. Yeah, tell your friend to do vegan keto if they must, huh? Anyway, guys, I should get going. I got to start getting down to work here. My laptop's running really low on energy right now, and yeah, I want to get to work. I did my cycling, and I spent an hour and a half almost with. If anyone stayed the whole time here on YouNow on YouTube, thank you. But yeah, I really should get jamming here. Angie will be back soon too, but. I want to thank you guys for joining me here, and today's Monday. I might have a chat tomorrow, maybe, we'll see, in the evening, and I'll probably have one Wednesday after my running club about 7:15 Pacific time, so look for that. And that one, the Wednesday one, will be on YouTube only. That's kind of how I do it when I'm at home, YouNow on my laptop, and when I'm out and about, I'll hook up the cell phone and do a YouTube live stream. So I just go all over the place. Maybe I'll do an Instagram or Facebook one at some point too for later on today for the holiday. We'll see if Angie's down. But anyway, I got to get back to work. Thanks for joining. Love you guys. And if you haven't already, go keep it carb, guys. And watch my new video about the vegan nutritionist debunking what the hell. It's up on our YouTube channel right now. Just went up a couple hours ago. Bye, guys.